because League hasn't been working, because they're updating it at the moment, let's go ahead and take a gander at the 10.9 patch that's coming out next Wednesday. So there's some things coming up that I think are going to be pretty impactful. I haven't looked at all this. I started looking at a couple things, so I just wanted to go over this. Yep, there's the League unexpected error. They're still doing maintenance, so we're gonna just go over this for now. We'll check and try to get a game in before 12. But we'll start with this. All right, so um, new new skins for the maps themselves. I think look awesome. They're based off of the different Rebel champions. So like this is Jinx. I saw the Malphite one. It's like birthday Malphite, and so forth. All right, changes. We got Master Yi is buffed. What? Buffed early, not late though. So Bang Bros more consistent. Bang Bros is Yasuo and Master Yi. I think that that's still going to be really good. Um, Obviously, because it just got better. Sona's buffed. Oh, Rebel's going to be good now. Um, okay, 50 healing. That might not seem like a ton, but think of Hodge, Hand of Justice. He heals what 50 per hit, per auto, and then so this is 50 per, you know, 50 extra, and if she autos attack so quick, I think what's her mana at? Her mana's super low. If you got a Seraphs on her, I mean that might be really good now. Um, let's see what else. Syndra, damage from ability. What? What? They're buffing Syndra? I know this isn't like for sure yet, but oh no no. Yeah, yeah, 150, 250. They're making her an extreme hyper carry now. I think you could put her in different comps, and I don't think it matters because she has a low mana cost. She has high damage, consistent damage. She's kind of like Veigar from last set, but wow, I think better because you can ult way quicker. She's like Veigar with Sorcerer 6. um, Shaco nerfed. That's good. I think this is 100%. That's a lot to be nerfed. Last patch, I feel like they did a lot of little changes. I feel like this patch, they're doing a lot of big changes. Graves 3, you got a buff. Graves 1 got a nerf. I think this is fine because Graves 3 isn't that hard to get. I've been running a lot of blasters lately, um, and it's super good with Zeke's, which no one's doing right now that I've seen, but like it's fantastic. I've played a couple, the Nebula, is that what it is? The 4 cost right at the beginning universe, and you get Jinx, which no one wants for whatever reason. And I've stacked Zeke's on her, or even just gotten one, and then got one later and put it on a different champ. But being able to give 60% attack speed to the champions to the right and left of you and yourself. I mean, you get a QSS or a Trap Claw, put it on the champion to your right or left, whatever one's going to be pulled, and then you're good, and you don't have to worry about it. So that's that's interesting. That's good though. I like playing Graves. I think playing those types of champions are great. Fiora 3 costs is now worth getting maybe a little bit more. I think that's cool. I think that giving those 1 cost champions, making them worth it when you get 3 costs makes sense. It's probably a good call overall. Um, let's see, Kha'Zix. Kha'Zix got buffed. I think this is good. Right now, I don't think he's a champion you really strive to get. I think that if he's buffed, it's only 25. Yeah, okay. And then they actually nerfed, or they increased his 3 cost, isolation damage. I think that he'd be better early, and if you're okay with getting him and then you get early Kaisa, you have those 2 right off the bat. that feels good getting that because Kai'Sa's really good. And if she can get her ult off quick, then that's a lot of damage to their team in general. And then when there's not very many champions, all that's isolated. So that's great. I like that. I think that's good. Malphite, I honestly like this. I think Malphite's already good. I don't think he needs this, but I also think that like 5% change over the span of, getting 1 to 3 to 9 champions is like that's not really a progression at all. So I'm glad they upped it just for that sake, even though I think 3 cost Malphite is going to be unkillable now. But whatever. I think you get 3 cost Malphite, you toss a Warmogs, and um, 2 ZZ Rot portals on him, and you have this 3,000 plus health, probably 35 to 36, probably close to 4,000 health unit. And then you also have like an extra 40 armor, and then you spawn 2 void trolls essentially after you die that each have 3,000 health if you 3 cost him, or if you 3-star him. So you're essentially have this like 10,000 health overall uh, monster tank running around. Super good. Um, Twisted Fate got buffed. I actually ran a Twisted Fate. Oh, barely. Okay, I don't even know if that's worth really talking about. But either way, I mean, he's percentage based with Sorcerer, so I guess that does get multiplied. But I love 3 costing Twisted Fate. I feel like he ends up doing so much damage when you watch those damage counters on the right side. Um, Leona buffed at 3 cost quite a bit. That's awesome. I think that's super good. I like that they're upping the 3 cost worth. Rumble buffed. Um, okay. So they just overall buffed his ability damage. I don't hate this because you want to be able to play him in other comps. Demolitionist is weird. It's barely even a thing. But it would be fun to be able to play demolition comps more often if he was good. He has a cool ultimate in general, like it's an AoE, you know, burn, which those are great. Those are great Morello's users. It's essentially like Cassidon's, but over time. Um, so I mean, like I like it. I think it's good. But you never use them. You never use them unless you're going max, right? So I don't really. Um, so that's good. I like that, even though it makes mechs better. I like the pieces of mechs getting better, and then they nerfed mech last patch, which I think did something, but not a ton. Um, I mean, I beat a mech that was running mech infiltrators with, I think it was sorcerers, honestly. So, um, you know, one Titan against another, but it's not unbeatable now. So give a little bit of love to Rumble. Don't hate that. This is great because this champion I think is not correct. I think they should have made the bombs bounce. Now I know that's not exactly how it works right now, or they should have gave him his E. I think it's his E, which is like the scattered bombs on the ground, which slows champions as well, so it creates a little bit of a buffer too. I think that would have been cool, but his one bomb that does damage to one champion, and he ults kind of fast, but not super fast. It's super awkward. Even if they up this damage a lot, like he's still just throwing 300 damage at one person. So it's like I don't know if I really like it that much. But what are you gonna do? So I think it's needed overall because I don't think rebels are super great right now as like just a 6. Um, so. Yasuo, this I'm not mad about because I like to run. I love that there's the need to position because in set 2 there was no need to position. Set 1 it was all about positioning. Now there's still positioning back in it like set 1. Um, but with Yasuo it was just you had to get an item that made it so he couldn't ult your champion. Now, if you put your champion in the corner, unless he is in the exact same corner, you're probably going to be fine. He might ult someone else, but he's not going to ult like your carry per se. So I like this change. We'll see if it stays or whatever, but like I think it's overall a pretty good change. All right, here's where the big changes are. I think all these were like mini little buffs and nerfs. I don't think anything was of note other than weirdly enough the Sona buff just because how often she ults. I think that could be good. Just honestly bringing her up to where she probably should have been anyway, because I think healers are absolutely garbage in this meta because it's so fast paced. That I mean, that's why Soraka can be good in a Star Guardian comp if she gets her ult off right after everyone gets their first tick of damage. Then it's like, oh, everyone's full again. That's fantastic. But like a consistent small buff, like this isn't really that good. Um, and then the Master Yi, I mean, that's obviously going to be a plus. Him healing, him being tankier than he already is with that healing, that's going to be great. I think there's going to be an interesting meta change with this, with 3-starring 1 cost. Remember in set 2 there was that comp where you would just roll down and buy all of the mischief uh, type of champions that no one was buying, and you would 3 cost like four champions. I think that kind of like what Protectors is right now. I think it's going to be something like that where you like you 3 cost Kha'Zix, Fiora, like Graves, whatever, and you just have these strong champions that have no synergy right away. Then you just build synergy around them. Um, okay, so Chronos, I think this is one of the bigger ones I've heard about. Okay, so nerf at 2 cost, same at 4 cost, just about, and then way better at 6. So we're looking at, I think this was 5 and this was 3. So it's better at 6 now by 0.5 seconds, and that's actually a decent amount of time because it's compounding, right? So it's going to be a second difference, then 2 seconds, then 3 seconds difference as the time goes on. So, and this is actually probably a bigger change. I'm pretty sure this was 5, and if it wasn't, then that's fine. But either way, the it's still a buff, I think overall, except for the 2 costs. The 2 cost is not going to be as good, but that's what people were doing. They were just putting because the games lasted a little bit longer for the most part in the mid to late game. Um, so this was really good to just throw in a couple Chronos because you just get easy attack speed, but now that's changed. So I think that's a good buff or a good change. And I heard someone say, heard Mort say that there's a chance that they might get the 20% attack speed like 1 stack right at the beginning, which would make a big difference. So that's interesting for sure. Um, Starshift buffed, mana regain, increase to 40 instead of 20. Oh man, they really they really want that champion to be good. Okay. Um, so Soul is going to be insane in this next patch if you just build him super tanky because he got tank buffs last patch. And then with this one, uh, 40 and they're doubling the mana per second. So he's just going to be ulting super often now. You don't even need to put mana items on him. And he's just going to wreck the whole team over time. Like it's going to take time. But if you were to build, I mean, obviously the Protector thing that works. Put Protector on him, and he would survive forever as well. But on top of that, if you built like, I would just build probably a Bramble Vest and a Dragon's Claw and um, some health item just to give him a little more beefiness. But that's insane. That's crazy. Um, all right, Vanguard buffed. Ooh, wow. Vanguard. I already thought Vanguard was being used a lot in like every comp, or like lots of Vanguard comps in general. But this is good. This makes Space Pirates a little bit better too, um, which is nice because I think typically you'd want to have at least one other Vanguard in there, like Wukong in the end, or whoever you have early, even Vi, whatever. Still, that 125, that's a lot different than 60. So that's cool to see, because I always felt like with Vanguard, so I would say that like your Vanguard 3 to 4, like when you were close, like that was one of the you would take a little bit of damage away in the sense of like taking away some snipers or infiltrators or something to get that 4 over having just 3, because it was such a difference. It was like 60, and then like the bonus armor for the 4 like the 4 champs is like 250 or something like that. I was like, wait, what? So brawler changed from 350 to 300, 650 to 700. Cool. Um, Yeah, that's fine. I mean, this I honestly I think is kind of weird. The whole just that it gets 700 health and that's kind of just the thing that it is. I think that the brawler champs in general are just kind of strongish, I guess, because there are like rebels they get like 750 health, and like cybernetic for 6 they get like 700 health or whatever. Like they get a bunch of health on top, and then they get damage. I know that's a 6 and this is a 4, but still. So it's like great. That's like super nice. Like they're just giant meatballs. That's pretty much what they are. So that's helpful, I suppose. But um, oh, did I say Vi was a Vanguard up here? I don't remember. Maybe I was just thinking to myself. That's obviously she's a brawler, but anyway. But I guess brawlers they all have CC almost, except for Malphite. They all have major CC. So um, that's I guess that's their niche. Infiltrator. Okay, so attack speed now gets refreshed every takedown. I thought that's how it worked before. Bonus attack speed, 4 cost. Um, bonus attack speed, 4 costs, 75 to 80, and then 120 and 125. Oh, 120. Oh, yeah, decreased. Okay, so that makes sense. Like infiltrator, uh, mechs. I mean, maybe trying to attack that a little bit. Except for like, I like infiltrators. I think they're super fun to play. I played Chalice stacking Kaisa infiltrators on with like vanguards, I think it was, as my tank line, and it was super good because Kaisa would just instantly ult and give Shaco enough mana pretty much to just like auto instantly ult, and then like that happened several times and their team was dead. It was fantastic. It was super fun. I would maybe even put those, yeah, because then then I stacked Shaco a little bit too. So it wasn't even just that Shaco was strong with the damage he was doing, but he was ulting all the time. So he was just bleeping around the map as long as he was in range of my Kaisa within 2 hexes. Um, Protector, 25 to 20, 40 to 45. This is useless because when you only have 2 protectors a lot of time, like you have like a 1 cost and a maybe a 2 cost or something, so your health isn't that high anyway. So like this isn't really. I don't feel like the percentage changes maybe that much. I mean, if you tacked in a you know 2 protectors later, maybe that would be fine. But you'll see the difference. But otherwise, you won't see the difference there. I don't think. Maximum health shield decrease from 40 to 45. This will be noticeable, I think. Oh wait, what? 6? I think this is wrong. This is 4. I think this is just this is preliminary changes. Not everything has been finalized yet. Everything comes out next week, but this is stuff that's came out as probable changes in PvE right now. So, mech pilot change, no trait, or the trait no longer gives mana upon super mech dying. Okay, I think that probably should have been changed right away in the last patch then, because that doesn't affect anything but the comp itself, making it a little bit worse, which I think is fine. The champions are so good, mech's so good, um, but being able to get mana directly from that. Yeah, I guess it nerfs in the sense that like the hard part about mechs is that you have this awesome champ in Fizz that does nothing. Like I mean, I always stack him over anyone, um, especially on infiltrators. But the hard part is that like by the time his ult gets off, everyone's already dead, or like there's one person left, or like maybe two, and you're like, oh no, it's this ult that hits like half the map, but there's like one or two people, so I that's just gonna take him forever to get his ult off, or he won't get his ult off. So um, that kind of sucks because it just that doesn't synergize very well. But whatever. Um, Blaster nerfed. Additional attacks for champions from, to 5 from 6. Oh dang it! I've been playing so many blasters lately. I think it's so much fun. Man, I didn't think people like. I feel like there's a blaster brawler, maybe one person per round, or do blasters as like a 4 tack on for like some type of tank line, but I didn't think it was like that prevalent, but oh well. Cybernetic nerfed. I don't play cybernetics because like putting items on champions that early just like freaks me out. I hate doing it, so I never play it. I've done a couple 3 tacks of cybernetic and it's worked really well. When I run Irelia, Irelia Cornerstone comps where you just have Irelia and then you do Mana Reaver, Cybernetic, and Blade Master, and then you just build what comes to you. So if you have a ton of Blade Masters that show up, then you go 6 Blade Master probably. If you have a bunch of Cybernetics show up and you can build those really well, then you go maybe Cybernetic with a 3 cost or a 3 attack of Blade Master and then 2 Mono Reaver. Typically I don't go more than 2 Mono Reaver, but you definitely if you got a Darius and then you got an early um, uh, Cassidon, that it's not bad to have a third one. Sometimes I would put a third one in just because it's really good. Because mana's king, right, in TFT. So, Star Guardian nerfed. Good. I don't even, I don't even care what this says as long as it says nerfed. Decrease from 50 to 60. Um, okay, cool. Yeah, that's definitely needed and good. So instead of getting, well, it's honestly, it's all separated between the champions, right? So 60, they each got 10 mana every single time they would all. Now they get like what, 7 mana? Is that what it ends up being? 50 divided by 6, maybe. I don't know. I'm not a math guy. Whatever. Um, Sorcerer nerfed. Okay. Oh, good. Okay. 40 to 45, 70 from 80, 105. This is all good, especially with Xerath being a thing. There needed to be something here with this. So glad that's there. Dark Star nerfed, good. This is fine too. I don't think like this isn't a crazy amount to where it's gonna be dead. Like adding 105% spell power or 70% spell power onto whatever it was is still gonna be super powerful. So I'm not really too worried about that. Um, decreased. So this is good because of Jin comps. I'd say Shaco comps, but he got nerfed to the ground. So Jin comps, 30 to 35, 35 to 40. Oh, okay. Um, that's 10 AD per person who dies. So ends up being like 50 AD, which is that's a pretty relevant amount of damage. So oh, and this is 5 per one. Okay. I mean, whatever. I think it'll still be strong, but yeah, I think it was definitely a needed change. Probably like a perfect change, honestly, to just keep it be strong. 'Cause I don't care if things are strong, especially like Dark Star, which is like a really flexible comp in the sense that you can kind of tack in a couple things here and there, whether it's snipers or infiltrators or mystic or whatever you want, or Vanguard. Vanguard would be good to tack in now with the 2 costs being up, but Valkyrie buffed. Critical decrease below 40% from 50%. I feel like this is a nerf, unless I'm reading this wrong. Don't they have to be below 40% now instead of below 50? I think this is just a typo. Unless I'm reading this wrong, which I would love if I am, because then when you get the Nebula one where you get Kale right away, getting a Kaisa would be sick. That would be awesome. But if this is how I'm reading it, with threshold for critical attacks decreased to a target's below, yeah, decreased. I think this is a typo. So I mean that's fine. Whatever. Kale is super good, and she just deletes teams. So now she hopefully won't delete teams completely. I think that's the idea. Shield, Rebel, good. This needed. Oh, wait, what? 200. I don't think I haven't. I don't think Rebels have been like that crazy good. I would say that this is probably more impactful than this right now, but this is a lot. I don't think this will stay because this is what people tack in for Bang Bros and other, they'll three a rebel, three group a rebel, area whatever, and then that will be all they need, and they get like extra, they get what 10% AD or and ability power or whatever, 10% damage, um, which is a decent amount in the late game. And then they also get a shield that take the first brunt of whatever they get hit with. So that's this is good. This is not very good. Only 50 for. Oh no, this is 6. Oh my gosh, I am like just losing it because not all of them are here and they're just listing the changes. That's where I'm screwing up. Okay, so 200 at 6. And the 9 is 250. So this must have been just absolutely insane. Whoever finally got this, it must have been too much. Um, so just having that many shields on everyone must have been just too much. So okay, we'll just whatever. That's not too big of a deal. This is too bad because I didn't think Rebels 6 was that great anyway. But okay, so that is as it says next week Wednesday this comes out. So that was the patch rundown for 10.9 as is. Supposedly supposed to be changing at some point, but new skins for the TFT arenas. Master Yi, he's getting a buff. So is Sonas, but Rebels is getting a nerf at 6 cost. So Bang Bros, dude. I mean, that is literally just like Bang Bro buff. Syndra is absolutely insane now. So that's a thing. Shaco's nerfed down to the ground at 3 cost. So don't I wouldn't even try to 3 cost anymore. Because all you're gonna do is get health essentially and some AD probably. But Malphite 3 cost is gonna be insane, and then 1 cost units are gonna be good to uh, 3-star now. I think that's going to be the real thing. 3-star one cost units, they all got buffed, and I think they're going to be good now. So there might be like a weird one-off comp where you build a bunch of one costs. But that's pretty much it with that. Let's see if we can log into League and play some TFT. Wasn't working earlier. They had some maintenance going on. It said it was supposed to go until 30 minutes ago. I tried to log in right when we started and it didn't work. So we'll see. It should work now, I would assume. It would. I mean, we get one game of TFT in real quick. Be fantastic. But oh, no dice. Okay. Well, I mean, short stream today then I suppose because there's not much other stuff to do. So check me out on YouTube and also past videos as well. I post the video of one of my matches every single day on YouTube. And I'm here every Monday through Friday, 11 to 12. I'm just doing lunchtime league while I'm on lunch, working at home through the COVID. So feel free to follow, subscribe, whatever on those. And I'll see you tomorrow, 11 o'clock, 11 a.m. So, all right, see ya.